Hi, I'm Ashley Goodchild, and I am just wanting to show people that are looking in Perth at the moment how we are helping our investors. So I am one of the co-owners of SoCo Realty and also the founder of Property Profiling. So we do a lot of work in this space, helping buyers agents with their on-the-ground support and also with private clients looking to buy without being here. So there are two things I'm going to show you today, which I think you'll find super helpful. And what I think is really great is for people to know what we have access to so that we can really help your journey, because you don't know what you don't know. So today I'm going to show you two things that can help you look for a property just with this extra information. So the first thing I'm going to show you is the heat map. The second thing I'm going to show you is a Suburb Intelligence Report. So this is a product that I use, which I find really, really helpful. The heat map is really great. Everyone's going to have their own idea of what they are wanting, like their own data points when it comes to looking for a property. But if I'm going to use WA for an example, because I'm from WA and it's easier for me to do that, I can, on a heat map, have a look at all of these different types of factors that might be important to you. So what I'm going to be looking at today is, where are we, is the change of median price in the last 3 years. And you can see on this heat map, I'll just have to move it a little bit for you. The redder the color, the less we have, and then the greener we have, the darker the green. That's where we're seeing in excess of 40% growth in some of these suburbs. So you might be an investor that is looking for something with less than 20% growth in the last 3 years or less than 40% growth in the last 3 years. This is a really great report to be able to show you where those areas are. So you can see Perth has been pretty busy. So we've got a lot that's at that dark green mark. And if I was just to hover over some popular spots that we have seen in the last 3 years, particularly down in Rockingham, and as I go down there, we've got Warnbro, which is 69.12% in the last 3 years of growth, Port Kennedy 68%, Karnup 57, Waiheke 74.29. So you can see these areas have had so much growth in the last 3 years, and that would be considered quite high. If we start looking for areas that are lighter in green, they could potentially be areas that investors might be interested in. And I'm definitely seeing a trend in investors looking at some of these suburbs. So I personally like to keep an eye on it to see if it's matching what the investor trend is doing as well. So I'm going to zoom in to a couple of options just to show you. And really the purpose of this video is just to show you what I've got access to. So if you ever need any help with buying in Perth, you know who to call. So over here, we've got Orange Grove, which has had 10%. I've got a lot of investor activity over in this way at the moment. So in Wilson, we've also got more Cannington. So you can see Cannington, East Cannington, that's had 28.89%. So some would actually sort of see that as, a great option to look at the moment, because it hasn't had that high growth that some of those other areas have had. So that's sort of just an example of this sort of pocket here, which you can see if I take the mouse away, it's a little bit lighter in that area. And then over here, we've got Maylands with 3.95%, Burswood 14.9%. So you can sort of just see how those colours change. And if for your own curiosity, if I go up to West Swan, we've got negative 24.94. And if we go down here, Coburn Central, we've got negative 15.79 as well. So those two areas have come as a lower average. Up here, Dianella, Yokine, we have got a Chewett Hill. I've got a bit of investor activity happening in that little pocket just there where it's a bit lighter. So really interesting report. You use your own data and your own opinion of that data, but know that I've got access to have a look at that heat map for you as well. So the second thing I wanted to do is show you how amazing these Suburb Intelligence Reports are. So I'm going to pick an area. Let me just, for the example, pick Nullamara in WA. And I'm going to click on Create Suburb Intelligence Report. And the information is probably one of the most extensive suburb intelligent reports that I've actually seen. I personally was super impressed. The thing with it is that it has so much data for you, but you also do need to know how to read that data. So you may have already done your research, done a course, and know how to read the data. This is going to have what you want. So let's just go through a couple of things that this covers. So again, if you're interested in a suburb intelligence report, just let me know and I can produce one for you as well. So here, for example, with Nollamara, we've got some information on the average mortgage repayments and household income. Over here, we've got how the data's changed between 2001 and 2021 in terms of dwellings. And the percentage of owner-occupier and percentage of renters, which a lot of my clients are interested in. It's really great to sort of see the occupation and the top 3 industry employment. I find that really interesting. And then we've got the growth report. So you can sort of see how that has changed as well in the last 3 months, last 12 months, last 36 months. We can have a look at what the gross rental yield percent currently is, so that when you get an online assessment done with a rent opinion, you can check that it is coming through in line with what the average is for that area as well. And I'll go into sort of how I do that for clients at the end. We've got the days on market, as you can see, units. We've got buyer demand. We've got sales listings, vacancy rates, stock on market. Goes on and on and on. Then we've got a little snapshot of what's currently on the market, what's recently sold, what's on the rental market. I think that's a really good little, if I go back, a really good little snapshot of a few comparisons to sort of get a feel of, where those prices are. Like you can see those prices are in the 600s. And then as we go down, we've got the units there as well. And what else have we got? The median rent, which is really great to see. Rental yield we've talked about. Room rental supply and demand, if that is of interest. And then we've got the development application approvals for the houses, for the units. And then we've got any recent development applications. So you can see like it is in real time. We've got really recent applications here as well. And I think that this is really gold. Like this is gold. So this information here I think is great to know of. And then we've got the major projects in the area, so there's nothing listed there as well, but we've got childcares, we've got the schools if you want to know more about that, hospitals, etc. So really, when we're looking at buying properties interstate, I always say that we just want to buy with as much confidence as possible. And so having access to these reports, this extra information is going to continue to add layers of confidence when you are buying. And I hope that that is super helpful. So that heat map is really helpful for suburb selection, or just to feel like, yep, I'm on the right track with where I'm thinking. The Suburb Intelligence Report is amazing. I think it's great. So really great for you to see what's inside that report. And then the last thing I will mention is the online assessments that we're doing for our clients. So they email me through the address that they're interested in, and I'll respond back with a bit of a neighbourhood check on the street. I will do a rent opinion of the property and also do an online digital appraisal for that property as well, to give them some extra, to give you some extra guidance. So the rent opinion is quite good to make sure that that is in line with what the average rental yield is for the suburb as well. So we do those complimentary for all our clients, the online assessments. So make sure you do reach out if you do need that extra bit of help with buying in Perth. I'll make sure my email address is in this video as well, so you've got access to it, and simply just email me. Otherwise, you can also go to our website and access some information there. And any questions, reach out. I hope that was helpful to show you how you can create just a little bit more confidence with buying in Perth in this market.